Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another quick video. Today we're going to be doing the Viper's brakes. Yes, it needs them really bad. I've been putting this video out for quite some time now, probably about a year. So we're going to do all 4 tires. I did a video earlier on, I'll link that in the description, where we did just the e-brakes, but today we're going to replace all of them. My son's waiting in the corner. He's going to give me a hand today so he can learn a few things. So let's get this thing up on the lift and let's do the brakes. All right, let's go ahead and lift this bad boy up. Now we check real quick, make sure it's on all the points. Go down slowly. Go check the other side. And should be under good. Yeah. All right guys, so we've got the rear tire off, and as you can see in the previous video, the problem we had was with the e-brake. There's a problem where these get stuck, and there is a different kit you can buy to fix these. The pads actually still have a lot of life, but they're just old. Like I said, I've got new cross drill and slotted rotors and new pads, so we want to replace those. All right, so we've got the brake caliper off. This one's pretty simple. Let me see what size I used over here. So I used a 10 millimeter, and it's got 2 bolts that hold the caliper in place. Make sure your e-brake's not on, and then this will release pretty easily. Sorry, I'm pointing the camera the wrong way. And if I lift this up, you can see the pads. It still has them on there, but they're definitely worn down. I would say a little bit less than 50%, maybe 40%. So the next thing you have to do is remove the pins. Let's see if I can lift this up the right way. So greasy over here. These little pins hold this in place, and the way you do that is you take one of these bad boys and you're gonna tap them out. I believe that's how it is. I'm gonna double check, but you tap them from up here. Let me put the camera down for a second, tap these out, and then we should have the brake pads free and clear. And you can see we've got the pads out. These are the 2 little, I don't know what you call these pins, but they've got these little ball or rubber seal, whatever it is, that holds them in place. Actually, it's metal. And like I said, you just tap those out and the brake pads come out. There's also an anti-rattle, anti-squeak bracket that goes on top. You just take a screwdriver and literally pop this out. Just be careful that you don't bend it or break it. But here we go. These are the old pads, so we'll go ahead and get the new ones. We gotta get the rotor out next, so I'm gonna take the e-brake caliper out, a separate caliper. We'll take this off. I think it's 2 similar ones. I forget what size they are, but I think it's 2 of these that hold it in place. This will come off, and then we should be able to get the rotor, slap the new one on, put the new pads, and we'll be in business. So make sure you put this somewhere secure. Maybe put some clamps or something in there, because otherwise, if you drop it, the little what do you call it, the brake line, the hydraulic fluid line might break off, so be careful with that. All right, so now guys, to remove the e-brake caliper, you need a 15. Should be pretty straightforward. And then it takes an Allen, I don't know if it's an Allen, I forget what these are called, but they'll have a second one that goes right over here, so you'll have to remove that one as well, and then this caliper should come loose so that you can get the caliper out. Here we go, so we've got that out. And see, this will let you move it right there, but to take it all out, you got to take the second one out, which is up here. So we've got the e-brake caliper off, and this one's just going to hang over here, but let me show you the pads. Completely gone on the inside, and this is the problem that these have, where they completely get stuck. It doesn't retract, so it keeps breaking in here. I don't even know what this rotor looks like, but we should be able to get it off. So let's take the rotor out carefully. So there we go, make sure that doesn't fall. Holy smokes. And you can see the wear on the inside. That's from the e-brake being clamped on all the time, was starting to wear on these. So you can see all the metal shavings. There it is, but it was still in pretty good shape, no cracks. Just again, metal on metal, so it was time. And these are not that old, so if you guys think I was neglecting it, I'm not. These are actually in the other video where they got replaced. You can see the outside is still pretty much brand new. The problem is the inside piston gets stuck and it completely wears it out. So, all right guys, here's the new brake rotor. As you can see, these are slotted and cross drilled. And I'll link down below where I got these from. So it wasn't a bad deal. But much better than the ones that were on there. So we'll get these on, get the brake pads on. One thing you have to note is these do have, it's hard to see, but there is a right and a left. You basically want these grooves, as this is spinning forward, you want the gas to vent the right way. So if you're going the other way, the gas would shoot back inside. So just make sure you pay attention to that. There's a left marked on the rotor itself. There's a R as well, at least with these. So just double check yours. All right, guys. So take a look at these pads. Right, this is the new pad right here. This is the old pad. So we can kind of see the difference, especially if you look from the top. So we still had, a lot of meat left on these. The reason I'm doing them is because of the e-brake. So if I was going to take this apart, might as well do them all. But there is a pretty sizable difference here. So anyhow, I went with these. I don't do any track, road racing or anything like that. So I didn't want to get super crazy pads that would make a lot of noise and a lot of dust. So I went with these metallic, just upgraded the rotor to at least are vented and slotted to help a little bit. I was trying to do just slotted. I mean, if you read the internet, there's different people that say that the drill ones will crack. There's people that say they won't. I was trying to get just the slotted ones. That's what I've used in the past, but I couldn't find any, so I just went with these. Like I said, this won't be seeing a whole lot of track duty or anything like that. Mostly driven on the street to car shows. Every once in a while we might hit the quarter-mile strip, but that's about it. So anyhow, there's the difference. Let's go ahead and get these on. All right, guys, something I wanted to show you real quick with the e-brake. So I've got this little tool, cheap one on Amazon. Obviously you want to push the piston back in so it doesn't keep rubbing on the new rotor like that. And also you're gonna have to do that with the big caliper as well. This would be a good time for you to also bleed the brake line. So if there's any air, because they're old, maybe replace the brake fluid if you want. But a good bleeding will be real nice too. The brake will feel much better, the pedal will feel much better, and should be able to get any air bubbles or anything you may have in the system. So just be sure you push that back, otherwise the pads won't go back on there. All right, guys, and there you have it. I'm gonna clean up those calipers a little bit because they are kind of dirty, but we've got brand new pads in the main one. And as you can see, brand new pads in the e-brake as well as new rotor. So that's one side. Let's go ahead and get the other ones knocked out. I've started on the front ones here. We're working on the front real quick because I want to compare the rotor, just make sure I got the right one. That's one thing to double check. The markings on the ones that I got are not very clear for the front and the rear. They look very similar. Here you can see we've got the Moton Club Sport suspension, fully adjustable coilover suspension, really nice. I think they're owned by somebody else now. It's still Moton, I believe, but these are very nice. These coilovers ride really well, very smooth, different settings, very adjustable. So anyhow, we're doing the brakes, but I wanted to get this one off. The front's a lot easier because you don't have the e-brake caliper like you do in the rear, so it should come off really easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out so we can look at the rotor and see if this is the right one. All right, guys, we've got the front brakes done. Rear's on. Hopefully this focuses. I'm trying to eliminate all the boring stuff. I didn't want to make a 2-hour video because this stuff's take quite a bit. I'm doing all 4 corners and the e-brake as well. So, but there you go, pretty straightforward. This one just has 2 Allen key back here, long bolts. I don't know if you can see them. See if I can get back there. But that one right there, one at the bottom, it's super simple. Take those out. Be careful when you take them out because you do have the hydraulic line here, and you also have the wheel speed sensor attached to it, or it might be the ABS. I think it's the speed sensor. It looks like the speed sensor, but anyhow, that's attached to it. So here we go. We've done the front ones, full pads, brand new rotors as well. So we're going to do the other corners and knock this out, hopefully. All right, guys, we've got the driver's side rear done now. As you can see, I just got to install the e-brake back on. But they look pretty good. There's the old rotors, old pads. Again, you can see the difference. These had a little bit less than 50% life. If I put these side by side, you can see just not a lot left on there. So, and same thing with the rears. In fact, the e-brake one, like I said earlier, the outside pad is okay. It's the inside one that gets caught up and wears out pretty quickly. I'll show you what that looks like. Here you go. As you can see, this one wore down to the bare metal pretty much. Luckily it was still okay, but look at the outside one. So there you go. Let's get those back on there and we should be done with 3 of them. Now we've got the front left and we should be good to go soon. All right, guys, there it is. We did all 4 corners on the Viper for the brakes. We did the e-brake as well. Sorry I didn't film a whole lot, but it was we were trying to get done before As you can see, it got dark outside. Big shout out to my son here, Swag, for helping out as always. I think he learned a few things. He'd never done brakes before, so did you learn something? Mm-hmm. Nice. All right, so that is it. We're gonna go take it for a quick spin and make sure the brakes, everything works well. The one thing I haven't done yet is bled the brakes. I will do that tomorrow. Just like I said, it got dark and bugs are coming in. Didn't really feel like being out here, and I want to go eat some dinner too. So let's go take it for a spin and see how the brakes are.